Now, the real beauty is nuclear fusion. Now you say, so who cares about fusion? What's all that about? Well, it happens to be the most important source of energy in all your lives. The sun and all the other stars produce their energy not by burning gas, but by nuclear fusion reactions. And we thought it was by burning gas in the 1920s. We discovered fission and fusion in 1938. And boy, does that make a difference. In terms of power per unit volume, per unit weight, whatever you want. Now, there's an interesting sequence here. In 1944, a powerful bomb was a 10-ton blockbuster. Released the energy of 10 tons of TNT. Dynamite, if you want to call it that. That was in 44. The first atomic bomb in 1945 released the energy of 16,000 tons of TNT. Not 16 tons, 16,000 tons. That was nuclear fission, atomic bomb, if you want. 1952, we had our first fusion device. Released the energy of 10 million tons of TNT. The Russians, a few years later, set off one that released the energy of 57 million tons of TNT. One stinking bomb. Think about that for a minute. Now, there's an implication here, which I haven't brought up, but I'm getting close to. You can use fission or fusion for propulsion. I was involved in a study of nuclear fusion for deep space travel in 1962, when I was a wee broth of a lad, yes. And our conclusion was a $9 million contract with the Air Force at Aerojet General Nucleonics, under the direction of the man who handled the fusion work at Oak Ridge National Laboratory, I might add. And the conclusion of our study was, yes, if you want to go to the stars using nuclear fusion, you can. It's just going to take a lot of money. A very great deal of money. So you have to decide it's something you want to do. And it does seem to me reasonable if you're going to send a starship out, it should represent the planet. But who speaks for planet Earth? We got a bunch of countries. We don't have an Earthling society to send out a fusion rocket. But these are the fusion reactions. Don't let the equations bother you. Helium, heavy hydrogen, deuterium it's called. The important thing here is this number, 18.3 million electron volts. Normal chemical reactions give you 5, 10, 20 electron volts. These fusion reactions give you 18 million electron volts. Big difference. Now, what's important here is not only for bombs, of course, but you could use it to go to the stars. Take a lot of money to build useful systems. It may be that our visiting aliens don't want us to go to the stars. If you were an alien, would you want us out there? The military budget on Earth this year is $1 trillion. And lots of kids died of starvation yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that, and tomorrow, and the next day. I think from an alien viewpoint, we're a primitive society whose major activity is tribal warfare. Look how we behave. $1 trillion on things military when there are starving kids? Does that make any sense for a civilized planet? I don't think so. But what I'm saying is, the most important source of energy in the entire universe is nuclear fusion. And it can be used for bombs, which we have done. And remember, we have exploded 2 2,000 nuclear warheads on planet Earth. That's what we do. Bigger bombs, better bombs, more powerful bombs. But it can take you to the stars as well. So it's kind of a crazy situation here, isn't there? If I were an alien, I'd say quarantine the guys on that planet. And maybe some of you have heard of what happened at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana when 10 missiles went offline with nuclear warheads on them when UFOs showed up at the door. And I've talked to the man who was there, down in the hole. It can't happen, but it did. And it happened in Russia, too. I think somebody's sending us a message. Hey, you idiots. Take it from there. So, you'll notice that it says charged particles. If you use charged particles, you can direct their path out the back end with electric and magnetic fields. If they're neutrons, they go off in all directions. How do you get thrust out of that? So this is a whole new world for most people. I mean, no, you can't go to a big company and buy one of these systems. But if we want to go to the stars, and if the planet decides we should go to stars and is willing to pay for it, it can be done. I don't think we're ready to go.